Yo, what up? This is Joe. We
Yo.
are back with Era of the J, here with my boy Laser, ready to break down the latest.
Let's go. This is Laser. After 2 weeks of baseless rumors and a bunch of bull, we're back. Without further ado, let's get into what's going on. This pod is gonna be purely about the quarterback carousel. We're gonna be talking nothing but quarterback rumors because that's what most people are interested in. And then next week, when it's right before free agency, we'll talk about all the other rumors of all other types of players, the wide receivers, pass rushers, etc. So, just want to start off with all the rumors with KYLER Murray, because we're kind of late on this because we missed a week. Sorry about that.
Let's just get the story straight first. Should we get the story straight first?
With KYLER Murray,
Want to give us a rundown?
Sure. So with KYLER Murray, right after they lost in the playoffs, KYLER Murray had his worst game of his career, and they got blown out by the Rams.
That was really bad. That was
a really, really bad game by him. They really laid an egg. Everyone was looking forward for that game to be an actual really good close game, and the Cardinals just laid an egg. But so after that game, whatever, nothing really happens, and 3 weeks later, out of nowhere, KYLER Murray unfollows the Cardinals on Instagram, and then just does an Instagram wipeout, which is basically a thing that athletes do now, where he deleted every picture of his Instagram of him in a Cardinals jersey. And everyone was like, yo, what the fuck? What happened? This came out of nowhere. No one was expecting this. No one really knew there was any beef between KYLER Murray and the Cardinals. So, so everyone was wondering what the fuck, and then basically everyone came out with statements. Cardinals, there were rumors going around. The Cardinals are saying we're committed to having KYLER Murray for the future, and basically there were a lot of rumors going around but they were upset at KYLER Murray because they felt that the blame was going on KYLER Murray for that loss, which makes sense because blame for losses go on quarterbacks. And
to be fair, he didn't have D-Hop.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right, it makes sense. Even if they somehow make the game close, they're not winning that game. They
they have a lot of problems they got to fix, but
right, they were missing the guy.
It is a huge blow not to have D-Hop.
Exactly. So basically, so they were saying that KYLER Murray's immaturity was the reason why they collapsed at the end of the year.
Is he supposed to be team leader?
You're a quarterback. You're a quarterback is supposed to be the team leader.
But he's young though. He's not
so. He is young, but that's how it works with quarterbacks. I mean, Lamar was the team leader in his second year. It's KYLER Murray's second year, and Lamar was the leader, I would say maybe even in the first year, for sure in the second year.
So that's the problem with Arizona right now?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say there's a bunch of, but that was the Cardinals, the organization felt the problem, or the players felt the problem was KYLER Murray being immature and not a good leader. At the end of the game, KYLER Murray was dealing with some sort of hip injury. They were being blown out, and then the coach is going to put in the backup. And the backup, Colt McCoy, he told KYLER Murray, he's like, yo, it's fine, you can go in if you want. And you can just finish out this season. And KYLER Murray's like, nah, I'm done going. Which is not something a leader would say ever. Brady would never leave a playoff game ever.
Right.
Those type of guys, the alphas don't.
I mean, I don't remember. What point in the game was that?
This is the end when it's 28.
No chance.
Right. No. Now, it's fine to not be, if you're not the alpha, you're not the alpha. It's fine. Maybe that will develop. The thing is that KYLER Murray wants an extension now because he's been injured a lot in his career. He doesn't him getting that deal next year is not guaranteed because he can always get injured a lot, injured again. So he's afraid he's not going to get that big deal next year. So he wants that deal now, and he wants a huge deal. He wants Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes money. He wants $50 million.
Is this the official reason? He said this?
And this is why he's upset. He's upset with the Cardinals. His agent put out a statement that he's not going to play unless he gets an extension. And
he doesn't deserve that kind of money.
Right. It's you can't on one hand not be a team leader, and then on the other hand demand team leader money. Maybe team leaders are the ones who get this money.
Step up. They give him the contract. Maybe.
Exactly. You step up.
He could step up. He has extreme talent.
Maybe next year, but if you get injured every year of your career so far, plus you haven't won anything yet. You're not going to get the Mahomes Allen money, the money of winners, the money of guys who won MVPs, who took their team on their back, who barely ever get injured, and have won Super Bowls. Those guys get the $50+ million. The Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, hopefully Lamar Jackson soon. Guys who won MVPs, who've gotten 1 seeds, who've gotten Super Bowls, who've gotten AFC championships. Those guys get that money. If you barely made the playoffs and you get injured every year and you're always losing, you don't get that money. I'm sorry. So don't be asking for $50 million. So at this point, it doesn't make sense for the Cardinals to give that. They might want to take that gamble.
Well, I mean, do they have a better option?
Do they have a better? They can trade him maybe for Deshaun Watson. I think that would be their best option. I mean, KYLER Murray's from Texas. That'd be cool for him.
Yeah, but the Texans don't want to pay for that either, right?
I mean, maybe I don't. They have the money. Maybe. But I'm saying is, in general, this is the second quarterback that the Arizona Cardinals have fucked up over the past 5 years.
It's not the Cardinals' fault.
Fool me once, shame on you. Like, if this was the first time recently, then fine. But this is like the second time recently. They moved up in the 2018 draft, I believe, and they picked a guy, Josh Rosen, who was supposed to be like one of the best prospects in that draft. He was supposed to be NFL ready, and they drafted him, they traded up, which means they're committing to this guy. And then they play in like 6 games. He has some like awesome moments, some really bad moments. He's like iffy. And then they just trade the head coach. They sign a guy who they know is gonna bring in his own quarterback. Like, what are you doing? You gotta commit. If you move up in the draft to draft the guy, you gotta commit to him. You can't just like ditch him because he doesn't have the best rookie year. It doesn't make like. You can't just go both ways. Either you're committing to the guy or not. So they screwed up Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen's like done. He was traded to the Dolphins. The Dolphins he barely played there also. Then he was traded to and he was cut, signed by the Niners, signed by the Buccaneers, and now he's on the Falcons. He's like the 3rd string quarterback there. But it's just sad. Like they ruined him. They don't know how to manage a quarterback. And now they have the same problem. Like KYLER Murray, this might not be their fault, but this is the second time they've screwed up a quarterback. Like, it's not their fault. Like, they gave him a number 1 wide receiver, but they didn't give him a line. Why are they drafting linebackers in back-to-back years in the first round? You gotta draft linemen so that you can protect the guy, so he's not running for his life and he's not always getting injured. Like, part of drafting a quarterback is drafting linemen and signing linemen as well, so that you can protect him. Because if he's always running, he's gonna get hurt, like Joe Burrow did. Guys without line, they get hurt, and if they get hurt, they're not. And if they get hurt, it's gonna be a lot harder for them to win. Even if you gave them the number one wide receiver, which by the way, the Cardinals got lucky to get DeAndre Hopkins because they traded like nothing, like a 2nd round pick and like a backup running back. They got lucky to even get DeAndre Hopkins in the first place. So, like, they barely gave him anything that took effort. And I'm sorry, like if I'm a quarterback, I would never want to go to the Cardinals. Even though they have the talent and they have a coach who's not that bad, like, I would never want to go to the Cardinals just because they keep on screwing up quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, they fucked up royally at the end of the season. It was.
And just, like, speaking of quarterbacks who are in, like, really bad situations, there are a lot of rumors with Patrick Mahomes right now. I don't know if you heard about these.
What?
Heard about any of these?
No. What are you talking about?
Okay, so you know how like last year they had a stretch where they just like sucked, like against the Ravens, against the Bills, against the Titans, where they just weren't.
Past season?
Yeah, where they weren't scoring. They didn't look like the Chiefs.
Right.
So there are rumors right now that the reason why is because, well, you know, remember in the Super Bowl. Where Mahomes was like, there's something off all of a sudden.
The championship game.
All of a sudden, in the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers.
Oh, okay.
The Chiefs were just suddenly off.
Right.
So there are rumors that was Eric Bieniemy's doing, and because he was play calling and he did not have the right calls, and then he wanted more of a, and in the offseason he was supposed to become a head coach, and he didn't, and he was upset. He felt it was Mahomes' fault that he didn't get a job. He felt. These are rumors. I don't know if these are so true. They're sketchy rumors. He felt that he didn't get a job because he has such a good quarterback, and all the credit is going to the good quarterback and not to him. So he was very pissed. And in his contract, I think he has the right to override everyone and take 100% control over the play call. So basically, he was in 100% control of the play call in the Super Bowl, in which they got blown out, and then over that stretch where their offense sucked, he was the guy mainly in charge. And then when they started turning it around, that's when Andy Reid decided to switch it up and have the quarterback coach, Mike Kafka, as the guy in charge, really, of the play calling. And he was the main influence in play calls, and that's when they started doing really, really well. Also,
Well, what's that got to do with Mahomes?
Well, I'm saying, we're getting there. But basically, and that's why the Chiefs offense started doing really, really well. And the main claim to fame, so like the thing is, like, it looks like now maybe Bieniemy isn't this offensive genius, and all these play calls aren't really him. It sounds like it was the quarterback's coach was the offensive genius with the awesome play calls. And if you remember in the Super Bowl they won, there was one play call on 3rd and 15 that was just like went viral. That was like for the game. It was like an amazing play route, and then that was like Eric Bieniemy's like the call of his career. But the thing is, it wasn't even his play design. It was the wide receiver coach. I don't know his name. I forgot it. But it was the wide receivers coach who thought of this play call. So, now right. So we see it's not really Bieniemy right now who's having all the success, and apparently this caused Bieniemy to have more and more animosity towards Mahomes. And then basically once they got to the playoffs, right, they're just rolling. But then again, Bieniemy feels like Bieniemy at this point he's like I'm never gonna get a high-end job again, and his contract was up after the year, and he's like, I'm screwed. I gotta take full control. It's my way or the highway. He had the rights in his contract to do this. Like, by the way, before this happened, like when Kafka was calling the plays, the Chiefs requested the TV broadcasting that Bieniemy wasn't shown on the sidelines for a reason. And they were like, and it got really, really, really bad. Like, remember in against the Bills, the Chiefs against the Bills, they were lights out. Then all of a sudden against the Bengals, they just started sucking. Like, their offense just disappeared.
That's because of Bieniemy?
Yeah, it seems like Bieniemy took complete control of the play calling.
Well, they did very well in the first half of that game.
Right. I mean, they're still really, really good.
That's what happened. That's what went wrong.
It seems like if you remember, by the end of the second half, they were right by the goal line, and then they got stopped on a really, really bad play call.
Yeah, no, that was atrocious.
Apparently what happened was Bieniemy had told him to run that exact play, and Reid was like, no, what are you doing? Run this play. And Kafka also got in there and said, no, run this play. And they were just yelling at each other. And then Mahomes yelled, like, there's not a two-way mic, but everyone heard it from the TV broadcast.
What'd he say?
And from players on the field. He's like, call one fucking thing or I'm gonna call the play.
Jesus.
And yeah, he just let it out.
No, that's never. You don't win postseason games if you got three different guys
exactly
calling three different plays.
And it was like the play calling was atrocious, and it really.
I think that's. I mean, I don't know. That could be. I think that's part of the problem with the Patriots defense, which was horrendous.
Well, that there's no one.
There's like three guys with like different things going on. You got right.
Could well be.
Yeah, but no, you can't.
Okay, but then basically it seems like it seemed like then that like so Bieniemy's the problem, so then get rid of him, like fire him. But the thing was the Chiefs are afraid. They were afraid of the how bad it would look, especially being with the Flores lawsuit, like how bad it would look. Everyone would just label them as racist for firing the guy.
This is all rumors though.
Right, of course.
Okay.
But his contract was up, and it's extremely suspicious if this is all not true, that they would only bring back Bieniemy like a week ago. They would bring him back. They would re-sign him right away. It wouldn't even be a question. They barely they just re-signed him, and they brought in Matt Nagy, who's a big offensive mind, who's definitely going to have a big part in the play calling. Also,
okay, so
he got 15 head coach interviews, and not a single one of those teams decided to hire him. So obviously there's something here with him, with working with people, and there's something here with the Chiefs.
Because you're saying his contract ended.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs felt like they had to renew it.
Yes.
Okay.
Due to the backlash. The Chiefs and Andy Reid specifically is very afraid of backlash, of possible backlash.
Right. Especially after Flores and everything, right?
Exactly.
Well, Flores is on the Steelers now.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Oh, I have a theory about that, by the way. my theory is about why they brought in Flores, which it didn't make sense because he's like an assistant head coach. If there was like one head coach in the NFL, I would say doesn't need an assistant. It's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has like has 2 Super Bowl appearances, I believe at least 1 ring. Like maybe even 2. He's a quality head coach. He's a quality veteran head coach. It wouldn't make sense that he would need an assistant head coach.
It's also a bummer for Flores because he's like an assistant.
It's a bummer for him, but that was going to happen anyway. Once you sue the league, he didn't get any. How sad it is. He didn't get, and how dumb it was for other teams. He didn't get any head coaching opportunities. I'm shocked he even got hired. But it's kind of weird that they brought him in as an assistant head coach. So my theory is they brought him in because there were rumors that Deshaun Watson wanted to go to Miami. And part of the reason he wanted to go to the Dolphins is because he wanted to play with Brian Flores. So, like, for them, they realized, like, they don't have any leverage in getting a Deshaun Watson because it's Pittsburgh. Why would he ever want to go play with Pittsburgh? He doesn't get any super control because they have Mike Tomlin there. So, like, if they wanted some sort of leverage in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, one of the best leverages is to bring in Flores. Because Deshaun Watson has a trade clause. So he can just tell the Texans, like, I don't want to go anywhere except for Pittsburgh. That's how he would get to Pittsburgh. That's the only realistic way he gets to Pittsburgh.
Did Deshaun Watson resolve his sexual assault cases yet, or
no? But I'm assuming he'll just pay them off. He'll pay them off to leave.
What, non-disclosure agreement? Classic.
Yep. Exactly.
Well,
and Goodell.
That's what happens when you got money, dude.
And Goodell's the type of guy to not pay him. Goodell's the type of guy to not pay him, to not suspend him.
What were like the exact allegations? Even I didn't even like check what. Like, what happened?
It isn't like he molested anyone or raped anyone. It was like he got super horny, where basically he hired like 22 massage guys.
Is this like Antonio Brown level stuff?
Yeah, like that. like he just wore like a super short like towel and like told him to massage in that area. Maybe even like
massage guys.
No, like the girls. He hired girls to massage him.
Oh, okay. So that's that's like a minor.
Like he broke the code and like kind of forced him to. So like to massage his genitalia.
It's like illegal though, right?
It's illegal and stuff. Yeah, it's not like flat rape. It's not like yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, okay, he can get past that.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he could.
Ben Roethlisberger could.
The problem is The problem is that if people label him as like a rapist and people label him as things that he's not. He's a creepy perv.
I mean, Antonio Brown seemed to get past this stuff.
He's a creepy perv. He's not evil. He's creepy. Like, he's a bad, creepy person.
Well, I like to think that, like, each player...
There are levels.
There's each player is, like, 2 people. There's Deshaun Watson, like, the player, and then Deshaun Watson, like, in his private life. Like, they're not the same person. Like, you know, they say, like, never meet your heroes?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure plenty of guys we love are complete assholes off the field.
Right.
I'm sure.
You said you met someone who like met Anna Kendrick and she sucked.
No, I met someone who met Matt Damon and they said that he was an asshole, like a straight up asshole.
Makes sense.
But, yeah.
Matt Damon.
I read that someone met Jason Momoa and said he was also an asshole. So whatever. I love Aquaman. Like I fucking love Jason Momoa. But right. So I think like there's 2 guys. Like I'm sure whatever. Tom Brady might be an asshole off the field, but there's 2 people. There's like Tom Brady. Like the persona Tom Brady presents like as a player. And that's not, the way I think of it, just not the same person. Because if it is, you're going to have so many problems. Because I'm sure a lot of these guys are rich assholes off the field. I'm sure a lot of them are. Just gotta think of it that way.
I mean, yeah, speaking of rich assholes, Aaron Rodgers was probably the story of, and will be the story of the offseason. He's had a crazy ride since the season ended. Because it's like, what will he do? Because at the end of last year, he told the Packers, I'm done. He was like, I'm done. I'm out of Green Bay. Like after then, they weren't re-signing veterans, and it seemed like they weren't trying as hard as they should be to build an awesome team around Aaron Rodgers. He was like, I'm done. But then after this season, it seems like this season was nothing but like pure fun for him. Like it seemed like it was like awesome for him. He won another MVP. They did very, very well until the playoffs, which was a snow game. I don't know how much you can. If you're gonna blame anyone, it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you can even blame him because it was a snow game.
That's not Aaron Rodgers' first time choking in the playoffs, though.
Right, I guess. He's not like this mad choker, but whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as bad as people make him out to be. Like, after that game, people were freaking out. Like, Aaron Rodgers is like the worst playoff quarterback ever. Fucking Twitter, but that's what happens, man.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, he has a bad rap.
But whatever, that season as a whole for the Packers, minus the playoffs, was an
incredible season.
It was a really fun season for him. So it seems like why would he want to leave? But
he is leaving.
And the grass isn't necessarily greener. Like who said he can even find a better location?
But he's like for sure leaving.
I don't know if he's for sure leaving.
Oh, okay.
He might just be like.
Well, his top places are Denver and
he could be like he can just be like yo, I want to stay in Green Bay, get like $55 million like per year extension.
Right. I mean, that would make the most sense because like they could legit just make another playoff run.
But if they do sign Aaron Rodgers, then they probably lose Devontae Adams. And why would he want to stay there if they have if they don't have Devontae Adams?
Right. That makes sense.
So every single team is giving trade offers, it seems, to the Packers, and it's been pretty hectic.
Well, is Tennessee still a thing or no?
No, the Titans pulled themselves out. They said no, they're sticking with Tannehill. Mm-hmm.
So what do we got? What's like the top places? We got Denver.
I just want to go over the Aaron Rodgers situation first. Like he kind of it seems like he pulled out of his engagement with Shailene Woodley. Then it seems like they're back together again. He posts a huge thank you to the Packers. Then he's like that just because he finished a cleansing and felt thankful, and he doesn't. It's not a goodbye letter. Then and it sounds like he's not going to retire, but maybe he will. And he said he won't take too long for his decision, but it feels like it's taking a long time. I don't know. He's the most cryptic guy ever. But whatever team this is, they need cap space because they need to also bring in Devontae Adams. That's part of it. Which the Packers can just franchise him, which would make everything so much more confusing. But
I think Aaron Rodgers is just throwing smoke everywhere, dude. He doesn't want anyone to figure out what's going on.
True.
He's like...
Right. I feel like he's going to stay at the end of the day. But, I mean...
Without Adams?
If he's going to go anywhere, Nathaniel Hackett...
No, but he's got to have Adams, dude.
Nathaniel Hackett is like his father figure. Like, he doesn't talk to his father, his actual father. Nathaniel Hackett was his buddy. That was the guy that he liked LaFleur, but Hackett was his guy. That was his coach. And Hackett now is with the Broncos, so it makes sense that he would want to go to the Broncos. That is his. If you would want to stay with his personnel, his personnel is in Denver.
Can the Broncos bring in good receivers? Or
I mean, they have the cap to bring in Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Right. I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to stay in Green Bay without Adams. I just don't think that.
Right. I mean, it's possible to keep both, but I don't know. I don't know.
The Packers got the cap space for that, or?
So, to keep both. Possibly, they can play around and release players and stuff like that. They'd have to play around with the cap, but they can potentially.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers just wants out of Green Bay because they just haven't won a Super Bowl in 10 years.
It's possible.
He just wants a new team.
It's possible he wants greener pastures. He wants a place to go right before he retires. He wants a better location.
I don't know if Denver's the place.
It's fun. It's extremely fun. It's a good city. So you're one of those up and coming cities.
I guess.
But yeah, teams are rumored, right? The Broncos, Steelers a little bit. I don't think that's realistic. There's also the Dolphins are heavily rumored. That I can see that as a fit just because the Miami's such a fun place and they have the most cap space. They have the most cap space out of any team in that.
With all the veteran players, they just want to go to some party city like Miami or New York. Or something.
That's part of it. That's definitely a great reason to go. If it comes down to either the Colts or the Dolphins, a tiebreaker would definitely be Miami versus Indianapolis.
Right. Oh, well, that's the thing with the Lakers now. The Lakers are tanking. Is that because all these veteran players they don't really care anymore?
I don't think so. I think they're just old and Russell Westbrook really was a bad fit because there
just seems to be no energy on that. There is no energy on that bench.
Well, right now they're done because they realize they're not contenders. They're done because when they were looking to add another star to the Anthony Davis LeBron James tandem in the offseason, and what they needed was shooting, and they needed shooting. They already had a great defensive team. They needed shooting, and they had a deal for Buddy Hield, who's a great 3-point shooter. But they decided that LeBron wanted the star, the Russell Westbrook, which was such a dumb move. Because Russell Westbrook's basically a shorter, bad defensive version of LeBron James. It made no sense to bring him in. And it's been such a bad fit. Russell Westbrook's done nothing but lose games with turnovers. He can't shoot, which was what they needed shooting. He can't shoot. What happened? He makes their defense worse. It just isn't who he is. It's a bad fit.
I was just astounded. Russell Westbrook just couldn't shoot the ball.
Everything.
No, he was airballing mid-range shots and what the fuck?
It's because of the pressure and everything. I'm saying everything Russell Westbrook can bring to the table, LeBron James can bring times 20. So it's he's not there. He has nothing to do. And it's he always was a turnover machine and had random nights where he just would shoot off. But at the end of the day, he would bring stuff like the leadership. Like he would be able to they can run the offense through him. And if they needed someone in the clutch, they can just hand it off to him. He'll just go in the paint, get fouls, and get shots. But now with the Lakers, it's like that's LeBron's job, so he has nothing to do, and he's a bad defender.
Right. Okay. I see.
But yeah, and now all those veterans look older than they did last year. I'll tell you that much. But back to the quarterbacks. Right. So I think like Denver is definitely a huge one. Miami, Carolina, maybe. I feel like because they're a very talented team, so maybe he can go to the Panthers. The Washington Commanders think they can get a huge quarterback like a Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. I don't see them as realistic because why would they ever want to play in Washington? It's like a bad stadium. It's a bad city. And a bad owner. So why would you ever want to play
now they
there?
have a bad rap with this new name.
Right. So why would you ever want to play there?
Commander Rogers.
Right.
That's what that's what they would call him, Commander Rogers.
Like, yeah, I would never want to play there. So, like, for me, like, for the Commanders, realistically, they would like get like a Jimmy Garoppolo. Apparently, they can justify sending the Niners a first-round pick, which I think is ridiculous for Jimmy Garoppolo.
No,
But maybe that could happen.
I want to give a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Come on.
I mean, I wouldn't either. But if they do it, if they're offering a first-round pick, they're getting Jimmy G for sure. No one else is offering a first-round pick, unless teams get very, very desperate in their quarterback search. Like,
well,
fine,
the
so
Giants are probably pretty desperate, right?
No, I think the Giants are gonna. I think the Giants are committed to Daniel Jones. I don't think they'll.
Really?
I think next offseason for sure. But they have a sick coaching staff for a quarterback, and if Daniel Jones can succeed anywhere, it would be right now with the Giants. They have a pretty good receiving core. They're the best they can possibly be at running back, and their coaching staff is made for quarterback development. So if he can succeed anywhere, it would be with the Giants this season. Yeah, but that's for Rodgers. I think either he'll go to the Broncos, the Dolphins, the Browns maybe. Browns, don't count them out. Buccaneers, like very, very slim chance, but maybe them too. And then the Dolphins. Yeah. Right now. Also another rumor going around was that Russell Wilson wants out, and that the Seahawks will trade him. I think that's never going to happen. I think maybe next year, but Pete Carroll needs to win. He's older. In no way is it more productive for them, more conducive to winning, for them to trade Russell Wilson as opposed to keeping him. So they're probably almost for sure gonna keep him. So all these rumors about Russell Wilson moving on, I think they're BS. I don't see any of them happening.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Right. So the guys that I see available, possibly Rodgers, Deshaun Watson for sure, possibly KYLER Murray, and then of course there's Brady coming back, which I forgot. Of course, right after I called BS on the story, every single analyst is poorly agreeing with me. All
oh my god!
All former players, all insiders are saying it's BS. They're calling it BS as well. I was ahead of the game. That's why you guys need to listen to the podcast.
If he's joining a new team, I don't think it's this upcoming season.
It's a weird situation because Bruce Arians was talking about it today, and they asked him if they would allow him to come back and then just immediately go to a new team, and Arians was like, no way, we're not. It's just bad business for us to do that.
Right.
Which means like it would be a really sticky situation. Like Brady would come back and then he would have to demand a trade, and it would be like a huge situation where he's like fighting with them. It would be extremely weird.
So his contract just resumes if he comes back?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's bound. The only way to get out of that bind is by saying I'm not playing anymore.
Well, that's just gonna make a whole beef, though.
Yeah, it would be ugly. Which the rumors of him that one of the possible reasons as to why he retired is because he wanted to avoid that ugliness. So I don't see him like getting into that later, unless he's extremely desperate to play, and extremely desperate to not play, and extremely desperate to not play with the Bucs.
If he's gonna come back, then he's got to deal with that, right?
Yes, it seems like he'll have to, unless the Buccaneers make a huge trade or they trade for Deshaun Watson, and then it's like Brady comes
trade
back.
His like frozen contract.
Deshaun Watson? No, I'm saying let's do this. They trade. Let's do they trade other assets for Deshaun Watson. Then they have the quarterback of the future.
I see. Okay.
And then Brady's like, "Yo, I'm back," and like, you have nothing to do with me anyway. You're not gonna like trade
Get the fuck
for.
out of here.
Right.
We already have a quarterback.
All right, you're not gonna be like trade for Deshaun Watson and then trade Deshaun Watson away. So it's like, you have nothing to do with me anyway, so you might as well trade.
I mean, that's probably what will happen. Like the Bucs will get.
That's what Brady's hoping
They'll
for.
get their new quarterback, and Brady will just pop in and they'll trade him.
But I don't know. I feel like for the Bucs, it's probably worth it to go through a full rebuild anyway. They're already losing two. They're already losing at least 2 O linemen in the offseason. They're probably going to lose Chris Godwin. They're one of their best wide receivers. They already lost Antonio Brown. They're losing a ton of talent. So I just don't see a reason for them to keep on going with this. Unless they're really delusional. I mean, yeah, great. So trade 3 first-round picks and more assets for Deshaun Watson. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders regardless. But yeah,
what do you think the Bucs' record's going to be in the next season?
Like 5, 6, 7 wins.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think don't rule out don't rule out Jameis Winston coming back. That would be crazy. Like, imagine like Jameis Winston, like they're the number 1 overall pick that they invest in. And like it's not working out so well. They let him walk, and they signed Tom Brady. He goes in, he wins a Super Bowl, and then he leaves, and they're like right back to Jameis Winston. That would be cool. Like imagine that story where it's like they just take a pause from the guy.
Brady doesn't. I mean, maybe
it's like they don't get rid of him. They're not like done with that plan. They don't have the plan B. It's like they just pause. They pause from the Jameis Winston experiment.
Why?
I mean, he got LASIK. He got the surgery.
Are you just gonna come back and win for Tampa again?
I mean, he was not doing that bad with the Saints. He got injured.
Why the fuck did he leave in the first place?
He left because it's like, hello, Tom Brady. It's like, who would you rather, Tom Brady or the guy who led the league in interceptions? But then again, he also led the league in passing yards, and he wasn't that bad this year until he got hurt. So, I mean, don't ever rule it out. Never say never. I mean, that would be really cool. Also, they're saying maybe the prophecy of the ancient prophecy of Jimmy Garoppolo being the next guy after Tom Brady actually ends up happening, and Jimmy Garoppolo goes to the Buccaneers. It's been too long. But wouldn't that be a cool story?
No,
if Jimmy Garoppolo is the next guy after Tampa, just not in New England but in Tampa.
He's not the next Tom Brady.
Not next in talent, like the resumer of the next guy after Brady. That was the whole thing. They drafted Jimmy G to be the next guy after Brady. Not the face of the NFL, just the next starter. Like,
oh, okay.
That's it.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
I still don't think that highly
He's
of
the
Jimmy G.
heir to the throne. That would be awesome.
I still really don't think that highly of Jimmy G.
It's not like he's not an A+ quarterback.
Like, if he would be like better, I think that the Niners could like make it to the Super Bowl.
He's good in the system, and he's inconsistent at times. But that's most quarterbacks.
He's just not a Super Bowl champ, bro.
He got close. I don't think like will you win with him? No. Can you win with him? Yes. You could.
He's not the guy I want. I'd rather have Deshaun.
He won't carry you.
He's not the guy I want.
Obviously not. But he won't carry you, and all these good quarterbacks are better than him. But he won't. But he could with a good system around him, he can definitely win. That's how I think.
Yeah, but he's more like a crutch. Like he has to have a good system, and then like he has to be able to work with it. And like, okay, we got to make a system that works for Jimmy G. Like,
of course, but that's what most quarterbacks are. It's hard to get an Aaron Rodgers. They're not always available. Yeah, they don't always come to you. Like if you can't get the A+ guy, if you're not one of those 5 lucky teams, then this is who you need.
Well, I guess that's what the Pats are gonna have to do for Mac
exactly.
Jones.
It's the same thing. I think Jimmy G is just an older version of Mac Jones.
Oh God.
Sorry.
I really hope not.
I said it.
I really hope not.
I said it for you.
Bill Belichick's drafting woes continue.
And then, yeah, there are a lot of other rumors about Brady coming back. Like, there are rumors that basically the Dolphins offered him, like a stock of the ownership. He can get, be a part owner type of situation. They also tried to bring in Sean Payton, and it would be like a
He's
Sean
Payton. He's going to do, like, an owner play.
Yeah.
He's going to be an owner and play it.
Like Sean Payton would be the coach, and then Tom Brady would be a part owner. He would play? Yeah, when, the first time he was a free agent, the Patriots, the Patriots were extremely afraid that he would go to the Dolphins and and be a part owner player.
He's gonna be like watching Tua plays and be like, "What the fuck is this? Like, get me a uniform."
Yeah, he would be the next quarterback. Right. That's one rumor. Also, rumors that he would go join Josh McDaniels in Las Vegas. There are a lot of rumors of that happening before he retired.
That would be just sick. Freaking dope.
I know. Yeah. That would be such a good story.
Oh man.
And then also maybe him joining the Browns would be really fun because like when the Patriots were a dynasty, the Browns were the shitty team, pun intended. So so I mean like it would just be cool for that story to like continue as Brady being a member of the Browns, like I said on previous podcasts. Right. Also, yeah, his childhood team, the 49ers, that would be cool if he goes there and just like wins a Super Bowl with his childhood team in his childhood home. If you can think of a better story, then I mean like
come back to Boston.
If you can think of a better story, yeah, be a best-selling author. No, it's not happening. That ship has sailed. It's one thing if they still had Cam Newton.
I was kidding around, dude.
It's one thing if they still had Cam Newton.
I was
of
joking,
course.
Dude. No chance in hell.
Yeah, no. The city turned on him. It just wouldn't make sense.
But in a few years, he's hopefully come back to Gillette for the retirement ceremony. That better happen.
Hopefully.
Freaking
if he ever officially retires.
Jesus.
Kidding.
He's gonna be like 70, like still playing.
Yeah, those are the rumors regarding Tom Brady. The rest of the.
I want to see Tom Brady playing when he's like 63.
Of course. Like an old man, like just 80, like living in a retirement home. Like having a guy on the sidelines, like changing his diapers and like putting in his dentures.
No, he's like, yeah. No, he's like in the retirement home and like have to go like wheel him out for the game. Oh Jesus.
Of course.
Oh man. Then like they're like waiting for him to like move up the field for the next play.
Yeah. If you're looking for a quarterback though, you're gonna have to look in the either in the draft, which isn't that good, or the trade market, because free agents there's no one is really good.
This is the problem with the NFL is that like if you don't have a good quarterback, you're fucked. And it's hard to get a good quarterback.
Right.
Like you're fucked. Like the Lions are fucked.
Welcome to the Lions. welcome to the world of the Browns for 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I think still now. Right, Baker Mayfield's not that good. Maybe still now.
That's why like you're in the shithole for a while. If you don't
a lot of teams are in denial about their quarterback, and that's where mediocre teams come from. Our team's in denial. Like the Raiders, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win a Super Bowl with Derek Carr, no matter how much you want it. Kirk Cousins, I'm sorry, You're not winning a Super Bowl ever.
And that's the thing, though. I think the NFL is the only league that it's like that. Like, if you don't have that one...
I mean, stars would be quarterbacks. So stars in the NBA would be quarterbacks.
But, like, you have, like, the Raptors, like, winning, in 2019. Like,
but they had a star.
They had a star, but there were plenty of better stars.
Kawhi Leonard was top 5. At least. Maybe even top 3 at the time.
Yeah, but it's easier to get a star in the NBA.
No, it isn't. There's like 30 of them.
How many, good Super Bowl worthy quarterbacks are there in the NFL?
Yeah, good point.
Like, it's really difficult. And, like, if you mess up, you're fucked for, like, at least a few years.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel bad for Lions fans and for Cleveland and for Browns fans. Like, as a New Englander, we got super fucking lucky. Like, oh my God.
I mean, there might be light at the end of the tunnel for the Browns. Because, I mean, there is a trend of teams being a quarterback away, getting a veteran guy winning a Super Bowl. I mean, the Rams did it. The Buccaneers did it, obviously. So maybe a different veteran quarterback gets rescued. Maybe Matt Ryan gets rescued by Cleveland.
Right. Okay.
And he goes there and wins a Super Bowl. The only problem is with Matt Ryan, though, is that he's
old.
He has the record for the most guaranteed money.
He's old, though.
Like, he's gonna break the record next year for the most guaranteed money on his contract. He's gonna have $45 million of guaranteed money, which is a lot to take on your cap. I don't know if the Browns could.
The Falcons, they how are they doing though? They have that receiver,
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to trade Ridley. Ridley doesn't want to be there anymore. They're gonna have to trade anyone. They're done. They're done. Don't even think about them contending.
No, I wasn't. Right. I was just curious.
Of course. But yeah, I think that might be the full take on all the quarterbacks. I think we fully did it. I just want to go over. Let's just go over all the teams that are going to be in the race. Just to end this off, the teams that need a quarterback, who need a new starter next year. So the Steelers, of course, they need Big Ben retired. They don't have no one really on the roster. Look at like a Jameis Winston maybe, Jimmy Garoppolo maybe, also Deshaun Watson, like those guys. The Colts, they need a quarterback. They're going to be looking in the trade market. If Russell Wilson goes anywhere, I think the Colts are a great fit. He's the type of guy who might not need the sunny location. He might just be fine with going to like a crappy city and just winning.
I think you put too much emphasis on location. I don't think
if you're a veteran,
it's such a big factor.
If you're a veteran and you're looking for a place to retire, of course it's a huge factor. Why would you ever want to end your career in a bad place?
The Super Bowl, dude.
Well, usually it goes hand in hand. Like you want to recruit guys and build a super team. Like the Rams, like it's LA plus you have a winning team.
So Matthew Stafford's like, oh my god, it's like freaking LA, like let's go.
Of course, it's LA, and then like Von Miller's there all of a sudden.
Well, speaking of veteran
there.
quarterbacks, is there any hope for a Jared Goff?
I mean, he's stuck in Detroit. One of those. He's stuck in Detroit. I mean, he'll probably be like a bridge quarterback next year. Like he'll be the bridge. Like the Lions will draft a guy and then keep Jared Goff as starter until the drafted guy is ready.
I feel bad for that dude.
Yeah, so the Lions are also definitely on the quarterback need. Broncos also. Broncos are aiming for the stars. And if they miss the stars, then they'll go for the draft.
Oh, wait, one second. About Jared Goff. Does he have a ring?
What?
Does Jared Goff have a ring?
Of course not. I mean, he was in the Super Bowl, but...
that's what I'm saying. Like, he was in the Super Bowl with the Rams, like, a few times, right?
Once?
Oh, just that one loss to the Patriots?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Right. Oh, that was this really ugly loss.
Then there's the Commanders who are aiming for the stars, but they already missed. There's no way. They're not getting any stars. Yeah, so they'll be lucky if they get a draft pick. They'll probably get Jimmy G. That's probably their thing. The Saints, it's a total rebuild. Like probably have someone in the draft. It's a total rebuild there.
Especially after you lose the best coach ever.
Right. So not ever.
Obviously not over Bill Belichick.
Right.
Of course not.
I'm saying like it's either going to be bringing back Jameis Winston or the draft probably. Panthers, they're also one of the shooting for the stars. Keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. They were willing to give up everything for Deshaun Watson before, and they might do the same thing now. Oh, but back to the Commanders, there were rumors they were also willing to give up everything. Like Chase Young, they were willing to give up Chase Young for an old quarterback who would only be there for a couple years, which I think is a ballsy move. And if they want anyone, they're going to have to. Would that work? If they want a guy, they're going to have to be ballsy.
How deep in the playoffs could they get if they did that?
If they what? If they traded for a guy?
Yeah, if they got a veteran.
And they can win it all. They're a talented team. Just the thing is, I don't think anyone would want to play under that ownership. Like Aaron Rodgers would just say, "No, I'm not playing for the Commanders." And Russell Wilson's more likely, but still, I don't think he would. Then there are teams that they're fine next year going in with the guy they have. Well, they obviously want to upgrade. That's the Browns. They don't really want to commit to Baker. They might be forced to, but they don't want to commit. The Dolphins, they have Tua. Tua looks like he's growing and only getting better. But they want a ready to win now superstar. The Raiders, they have Derek Carr, but they want.
No, the Raiders could do so much better if they got a better quarterback. They could do.
Right, they want a Rodgers and Wilson and Brady, but I don't know if that's
like where they got with Carr. Like if they had a good quarterback, they could get farther.
1,000%. Yeah. Also, the Buccaneers, they're aiming for the stars. But if they get nothing, if they get no one, if they come empty-handed, they have Kyle Trask. They drafted him in the second round. He was like a fringe first-round pick last year. And he can for sure be a good guy. Like, I don't know. The Eagles also, and Jalen Hurts is a solid starter. But if they can get a superstar, get that superstar 1,000%. Then there are the teams that, like, if their quarterback demands out, he'll demand out. But other than that, it looks like they're going to keep their guy. The Cardinals, it looks like they'll... I don't think...
They'll have to resolve this somehow.
Yeah, they'll resolve. Usually what happens with these type of quarterbacks is next year will be the year he gets traded. This offseason will be all the speculation, and then he'll actually get traded next year. The Falcons also, it's a huge cap hit. They'll probably try to trade him because it makes no sense to keep him.
And they should just go for like a straight up rebuild.
I think they're stuck with Matt Ryan, and then they'll draft someone else also, and they'll start next year, like the year after this upcoming season. And then there are the teams where there have been a lot of rumors of them getting new quarterbacks. I don't see it happening. Vikings, I'm sorry, like literally Kirk Cousins was a part of picking Mitch McConnell as a head coach. So I don't think they would get rid of him after he picked the head coach.
I mean, the Vikings do got to make some adjustment though.
Hopefully they'll probably be with like the O-line. They already got a new head coach. Then there's the Texans. I think Davis Mills will start next year. It only makes sense that he starts next year. The Giants, they committed to Daniel Jones, like I said. Seahawks, like I said, I think they're going to keep Russell Wilson. And the 49ers, unless Tom Brady comes back, I think they're going to stick with the Trey Lance. They gave up a ton to the Dolphins to get that pick to be able to draft him.
They're done with Jimmy G.
And I think they're going to start him next year. They're for sure done with Jimmy G.
Did you mention Indy?
Yeah, Indy already. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all as opposed to quarterbacks. Maybe we'll just spend like a minute on like not quarterbacks, maybe announcers. Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman's gone.
Yeah, ESPN. He's going to ESPN. ESPN finally got their guy. They said no to a lot of like.
To be honest, I don't really. I don't even think he's that great.
It wasn't about him being great. It was like there were a lot of really, really good personalities who wanted to do this, but ESPN said no because they wanted a Hall of Fame quarterback because like they wanted to compete with the Tony Romos of the world. So they went and got a Hall of Fame quarterback, like a former quarterback.
Right,
like,
but like he's not. I don't really like watching the NFL on Fox. I don't think it's that.
I mean,
some
he's good.
Some guys are just not that exciting, dude.
But I mean, I feel like Aikman, like after Aikman has been there for a while, he's kind of like a classic. He's just like a classic announcer. I don't even. His voice sounds like football.
I guess he's kind of like Joe Buck in that way, like.
Right, I think so.
But I don't think. I mean, Joe Buck's all right, but again, I don't like these.
How is Joe Buck? Joe Buck's legendary. I'm sorry. He's not. Guys hate him. Guys hate him for guys hate him for not.
Because he's kind of like guys, no emotions, dude.
Yeah, but that's not so true anymore. He changed.
That was a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
When he announces, it's now. It feels like when he announces, you know it's a big game. When you hear his voice, it's a big game.
Okay, he's like, I guess he's like a little iconic or whatever.
Yes, he's iconic.
But I don't think he's like that great of an announcer.
Just trust me. I'll come back to you in 2 years and you'll agree with me.
Oh man, I just think announcers in general should be more invested.
His voice like it means this is an important game. He does all the important games, and I'm sorry. He has a good voice.
As a Red Sox fan, his voice is like is iconic for me. Like from 04 to 07 to 13, like.
And he gets excited now. Like watch this stuff on Diggs walk-off touchdown. He gets excited now.
Okay.
He changed as he got older. But yeah, there are a lot of rumors that maybe Joe Buck will follow him to ESPN.
You know the best guy is?
There are a lot of rumors that Joe Buck will follow him to ESPN, and if he follows him to ESPN, then I don't know who's going to be announcing the World Series. They're going to need to find someone else.
Yeah,
that's going to be huge.
My favorite announcer is Kevin Harlan. That guy is so good.
Of course,
it's
kind of sad that he's like behind Nance. I mean, Nance is better, but like it's kind of sad that he doesn't get to his primetime games. He gets him on the radio though.
Yeah, but like it's not cool though. He should get. Oh, he's so good.
Maybe he can take over at Fox if Joe Buck gets canned. Right. Also, Al Michaels. It seems like he's gonna leave. He'll probably take over in the Amazon. Amazon's having their own broadcast for Thursday Night Football. Oh, there was something I want to tell you. The Daily Wire.
Yeah, they're in the sports podcast business now.
Right.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I did. Yo, they should reach out to us.
What the?
Okay, we're making our call.
No, you don't want to like. You don't want to get all political, bro.
We aren't political, but I don't think
their whole brand is like they're giving like sports without any like wokeness. That's like their whole brand.
Right. So we don't need you to. We can take out the political parts of us.
Nah. Bro, they already started. They already have a guy.
But they can get a new. They can have two. They can have two.
Yeah.
We're making our pitch. Yeah. So that's probably it for today.
All right. Signing off. Your boy Joe.
Laser.
All right. Again. If you don't like what we're saying, if you don't like anything, make sure just hit us up, Twitter.
Comments section on YouTube.
You can email us at fatnoodle222@gmail.com if you want to say anything. We want to hear what you guys have to say, so please contact us. And yeah, all right. Peace out. We'll see you next time.